How you doing, folks? Hope everybody's doing okay. Today I'm going to be doing an oil change on a 2018 Chevy Tahoe with a 5.3 liter engine. Things you need for the job will be an oil tool, 15 millimeter wrench, a funnel of some type. This is the part number for the filter. This is a frame filter that I'm going to be using. You need the oil itself, some kind of a catch bucket, rag, and a couple other little things that I'm going to bring out once I do the job. On the 2018 Chevy Tahoe model, this is where your hood latch, its release is located, right over here. Just pull on it to release the hood. Go to the front of the vehicle, find the latch that holds the hood. It's located right on top of the sign. Right on top of the sign. Put your hand in it and go right. This is what you're looking for right here. You gotta go right on it. Right on top of the sign. You gotta put your hand in it and go right. And lift it up. On the driver's side of the vehicle, you gotta locate your fill cap for your oil. That will tell you the type of oil that you need. This one uses the SAE 0W-20. All vehicles are different, so you gotta go by what this says right here. Make sure to secure the vehicle. Underneath the vehicle, on the driver's side, will be the filter, and you need to replace for the motor oil. And this will be the drain plug for your oil pan. So 15 millimeter, and you need your tool if it's too hard to get out, which this one is. Oh yeah. Gotta wait till it's finished draining. In the meantime, you gotta inspect your oil plug, make sure it's good. This drain plug, the seal over here tend to collapse and go bad with time, and then it starts leaking. This one is in pretty good shape, so I'm just gonna reuse it. But once this seal gives out, it needs to be replaced. Best place to go would be the dealer. Don't get an aftermarket one, because they're even worse. Once it's pretty much done draining, clean the surface really good, make sure you don't have any debris, and replace the oil plug. Go ahead and tighten it up, snug, but don't overdo it. And you're good to go. Gotta do the filter now. Gotta get the tool in. A little tight. This is always a messy job. Once it's finished draining, clean the surface where the seal sits in your block. Make sure this is really nice and good. No dirt anywhere, so it'll make a good seal. On your new filter, make sure that you get a little bit of oil and you put it on the seal. So it doesn't stick, just a little bit. And screw it in by hand so you don't damage the threads. I always do it by hand, just tying it the best way I can by hand, but if you're not sure, look up the torque specifications on the filter and go from there with a torque wrench. I do it my way, everybody does it different. I never had one leak on me by tying it by hand, but if you don't got a good grip, you want to check the torque specs and go that way. That's good enough for me. All right, time to add the oil to the engine. This is a 2018 Chevy Tahoe with a 5.3 liter engine in it. This particular motor takes 8 quarts of oil. If you have a different one, like the 6.2, you might want to check the oil manual before you go and start the job. Make sure you got enough oil. So take out the plug. On the plug, inspect the seal, make sure it's good, it's not cracked. If it's cracked, go to the dealer and get another one. Clean that up, make sure you got no dirt in it. Get a funnel, which doesn't sit very well. I'll hold it, I guess. Start putting in the oil. Hopefully it won't make a mess here. dipstick. Let's see if we got enough to start the engine. We gotta start the engine to fill the oil filter up, and then we recheck. It's right there. It's right over here. You want it between here and here on that marked area. It's got 2 holes. Right there is perfect. I don't know how well you can see it. So I'm gonna start the engine and make sure to recheck after you do that to see if you got good level. Let it sit for a minute. Don't forget your plug. You gotta put the cap back on or you'll lose it. Alright, let's double check that oil level after you start the engine. Let it run for a minute, turn it off, leave it off for a minute, make sure the oil goes down, make sure the oil filter is filled, and double check before you call it quits on the oil. Always clean the first one. And we're good. We're good. We're at the max right there. We're at the max. We're right here. Should be between here and there, and we're like right there. So that's good. That's perfect right there. They recommend between this line or grade it out to this one. This area right here is the recommended running area level on your car. I always leave it right there at the max. And that's where it was, at the max. Do not overfill your engine. Everybody does it different. This is how I like to run mine. Right there at the max. Make sure this is seated all the way down. Make sure your oil cap it's in place and tightened up, seated all the way down. That's very important. It's got to be in place or you get dirt inside your engine. Alright folks, so after you change your oil, I guess the last thing would be to reset your vehicle's oil life counter. It goes from 100 down to 0. So in order to do that, you need to insert your key, turn on the ignition. You don't have to turn on the car. The 2018 Chevy Tahoe, it comes equipped with the electronic navigation. So you got to go down till you get to your oil level. It's at 20%. You hold down the check till it resets to 100. And there it goes, 100%. And you're set to go.